there are certain tools that I cannot live without when it comes to being a professional writer. So I figured I would do this video to share those tools with you. And maybe if you aren't using some of them, you can start using them. But I think you may find that you use some of these too and they're familiar to you. So if this seems of interest to you, then definitely like this video, subscribe to this channel. And then also at the end, once you've watched it and you like it, hopefully, you send it to someone within your network who you think it can help. My name is Lynette Renee Dobie, and I'm a professional ghostwriter, and I love to make content about this rewarding field and also about writing and first-time authorship. And if you are a writer, you'll find value in this channel as well. So go ahead and get settled in, like, subscribe, do all the things, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, thank you so much for doing that. So the first piece, I guess you could call it software. No, you know what? We're going to call it a tool because that's what I use it as, is my Remarkable. I love this. So this was gifted to me about a year ago, and it has made such a huge difference in my life. I put my to-do list in here for me personally. I chart my workouts here. I chart all sorts of amazing different things that help me on a day-to-day basis. Any idea that comes to my mind in the middle of the day, I use my Remarkable. So essentially what it is it's a paper tablet. I'm gonna go to a fresh sheet of paper so you can see it. And it feels like paper when you write. So you use this stylus, it's called a marker, and you can use it to draw on the screen or to write on the screen. I drew in this instance. And it's just so helpful. I just did undo for both of those lines and you saw they disappeared, but it's so helpful just to have all your thoughts in one place. Because I used to collect notebooks. If you're anything like me, you can relate to this. I used to collect notebooks for years. I mean, I would write in them one way, then flip the book over and write in them another way. And then what would happen is I would have all these different notebooks and I would want to take things with me, but you can't just lug around 4 or 5 different notebooks. So this has enabled me to have all of my notebooks in one. And I'm not an affiliate for this product. I'm just someone who loves it. Now I have the basic model, the base model, because it's not in color. They've released one that's in color. I'm fine with this one because I don't need any distractions. Y'all, there isn't even a clock on here. So when I'm using this, I am locked in. And another thing that I like is that there's no access to any browser on here. I can't check my email. I can't go to any sort of social media. I'm locked in. Another cool feature that it enables you to do is with the app that you can put on your desktop computer or your laptop, whatever you may use, you can use the Remarkable app and you can upload PDFs to it, and then you can have PDFs on the go. So if you're anything like me, if you go to a whole bunch of webinars, workshops, and they give you a workbook, you can upload the workbook here and you can actually fill it out using your marker. And you can make changes, edits, all kind of stuff. I mean, you really cannot beat that with a stick, as they say in the deep recesses of the South where I'm from. And another cool thing is that you can also upload books, ebooks to here as well. So with this one tool, if you're going on a trip or you're just going to a cafe, you can take so many things with you as opposed to lugging around a heavy backpack. This thing is super thin. I have it in a case, but it's super thin. I wish I would have taken it out so you all could see it. But it's just so super helpful for you to have, especially if you're someone who, if you have an idea, oh, it's not trying to come out the case, I'm not gonna mess with it. If you have an idea and you wanna just jot it down really quickly, this is a tool for you. Another cool thing is the marker is magnetic, so it just sticks to the screen or in its holder when you're not using it. So again, I think I mentioned this, but I'll say it again. I'm not an affiliate. I just love this product. I think it's great. So definitely check it out. It's a Remarkable. And I think other brands make something similar. And someone had asked me, they were like, why wouldn't you just get an iPad? This is different because it's a productivity tool. It's a way for you to be focused because you can't be distracted if you get a text message. You know how Apple products are. It will notify you across whatever products that you have, whether it's your laptop or your cell phone. It'll say, hey, you have a text from such and such. With this thing, you get emails, text galore. You would never know because it's not synced in. So I love it very much. So check out Remarkable. I'll put a link below so you can go to the website and check it out for yourself and see if it's maybe a tool that you may want to invest in. All right, let's go to number 2. Let me get back to my list. All right, so number 2 is languagetool.org. So I used to use Grammarly heavily for my spell checking and my grammar needs, but I don't know, Grammarly started suggesting things to me that just didn't sound quite right. It's just very robotic, and the subject verb agreement would be there, and it would definitely adhere to other grammar rules, but it didn't flow and sound right. So I was like, ooh. So I put it aside and I began working on a tech project, and they had us use languagetool.org as a spell checker. And I really liked it because it is simplistic in what it helps you fix, but it's very valuable and doesn't add any additional fluff to your piece. It tells you your word count, standard to other grammar checkers and things like that. It will tell you your word count, your level that you're writing on, and it's just really helpful. You just paste your content in, it'll survey it and then tell you what you need to correct, and you just paste it out. And I just like it because also it's free 99. Free 99 is a good place to be. And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention Pro Writing Aid. That's what I used religiously for years. And the only reason why I stopped using it is because languagetool.org is free. But I think that they have a free version as well. They do. But the Pro Writing Aid, I like them because they help your writing improve by monitoring the different changes that you make. And then they'll send you an email, I think it's in their newsletter, and they will say, hey, you could use some assistance with commas. Here are a couple exercises that we've pulled. And then conversely, they'll tell you, hey, you must have been working on this because you have increased by this percentage. And then they'll even tell you the percentile of users, of all their users, what percentile you fall into with regards to your writing ability and how much you're growing as a writer. See, I like that. I like something that tracks my progression and lets me know that I'm improving, because literally that's why I write every single day, to get better and better. So I'm better for myself and for my clients. So next is going to be a piece of software that I know you've heard of, because I talk about it all the time. ChatGPT. Now I know a lot of the AI companies are under a lot of flack because their data centers are wreaking havoc right now on the environment. And I hope that they're striving towards sustainability, because that is something that's important to me. But at the same time, AI has been such an instrumental tool to what it is that I do and how I do it. Now, the mindset of this is using it as a tool, not as the only way. It is a launch pad, I would say, to help me with my ideation and my ideas. And I've talked about this before, but I really just want to hone in on it, especially since I'm doing my first AI workshop for writers on Monday. We'll get back to that in a second. But when it comes to ChatGPT, it helps produce a lot of content at scale, but you still have to work with it and tweak it to make it sound like yourself or your client or whoever you're writing for, with their permission. I never use AI for a client without their knowledge. That goes into the whole ethics thing of it as well. But it does help you create a whole lot of content for you to launch pad and then create it, copy edit it to get it to sound the way that you want it to sound. So I'm always a huge proponent for that. Getting back to the workshop, what I decided to do was, because I have a lot of writers who always ask me, well, how do you use AI? How do I broach the conversation with my clients? How do I feel like I'm in integrity when I use AI? And so that made me decide to come up with my workshop. And I'm doing the first one on Monday, like I said. And eventually I want to start having them, if not quarterly, but on a regular basis, so writers can get comfortable with using AI. Because again, it's the same thing as using a dictionary, encyclopedia. It's a tool. That's the way I regard it. You may see it as something totally different, and guess what? That's your business. But as for me and my house, as we say in the South, I use it as a tool to help me generate content at scale. And also I use it with integrity. I tell my clients if I use it, but I definitely use it for short form. For long form, that's completely me. Like someone's book, I'm writing that. Unless they want to see a take from AI and then see what I can do with it to make it sound like them. But that's a whole other thing. I have several videos on this channel about AI. If you're interested, you can go back through and check them out. But ChatGPT is my tool. A lot of people are saying they don't like ChatGPT 5, they prefer 4. It's a matter of preference. I particularly don't really see the difference, but I understand people vibing with what they like. But all versions are available. If you pay for it, you can go to previous versions. And I just looked it up. ChatGPT 6 is slated to come out allegedly by December 2027. So we'll be with 5. We'll be rocking with 5 for a little bit, you know, if this is an accurate estimate, but we're definitely going to have to wait and see. Next, I have a new software that you may not have heard of that's in my toolbox tentatively because I'm still learning how to use it, but it's called Lindy, Lindy.ai. And Lindy.ai enables you to create your own AI agents without knowing how to code, without knowing how to read and interpret code, without knowing any programming. You can literally go into their interface and create your own AI agent for whatever you may need. Whether you need a VA or a personal assistant, you can use or create your own Lindy AI agent. Now, the company does a really good job of educating you on how to use the product. They recently just did a challenge, and I believe that they call it, I'm going to pull it up really quickly because I want you all to know about it. They call it Agent Academy. And so they do these periodically, and it just enables the user to get a understanding on how to use the product and how to create their own AI agents. And what's neat is every single month that you pay, because it's subscription based, of course, you get an amount of credits, and those credits enable you to make X amount of agents. I believe they give 5,000 credits a month, so I think that's about 2 agents that you can make per month. And then you can also share those agents. So if someone wants to make agents for clients, although it will be hosted with Lindy, you could definitely, you know, send that to your client once it's been made. But I would highly recommend, if you're into this whole AI movement, definitely check out Lindy.ai and see if it would be beneficial for not only you and your business, but also for your clients. And literally, that's all I have right now at the moment. Those are the top softwares that I cannot live without. Now, softwares and tools, because Remarkable, of course, is a tool. Now, if you feel like I missed something, or you feel like everybody knows about these, however you feel, leave me a comment and inform me of what I should be using if I'm not currently already using it, because I love to definitely be in the know. Thank you so much for listening to this video. It's always a pleasure to be seen and to be in front of each and every one of you. And I appreciate the love that you give me on this channel. And as long as y'all keep showing up and watching, I will keep showing up and making content. And keep your eyes peeled for the announcement for that AI workshop for writers. And if you're interested, let me know in the comments. All right, thank you so much, y'all. Good seeing you. See you in the next upload.